Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about Tabletop Simulator, and we're also going to be talking about GW, because it appears that GW is taking stuff which is related to 40k, AOS, any kind of GW product you can think of that has been uploaded to this Tabletop Simulator game. GW are issuing copyright notices. Now, for those of you who don't know what Tabletop Simulator is, it's basically a digital game that allows you to play board games. It has a huge modding community, and with that modding community there's a 40k fantasy, basically a GW kind of small community involved in it, and they're adding stuff like 40k models, 30k models, Age of Sigmar models, anything you can think of GW wise. It's basically on this digital game. Now, firstly, before I go into all the details about this, I have to say that GW are within their rights to take this stuff off, because at the end of the day it is their IP, so you really can't argue from that standpoint. But what I see this as is a platform to the broader community to bring more people into 40k, AOS and other GW products. I personally think what GW is doing is wrong, and they should let this community to stay put and add this kind of content to the game. And what I mean by that is, I'm a perfect example of this. This game, this Tabletop Simulator game, is a doorway for me to try out different armies, which I didn't think I would ever play in the tabletop, and then go forward and purchase those armies and actually play them on the proper tabletop. As a person who has played tabletop before, I have to say that when I play the digital version, the Tabletop Simulator, it in nowhere competes to anything like the real life tabletop. Nothing is ever going to replace meeting up with your in real life friends, throwing some dice across the board, socializing and having a laugh. Nothing's ever going to beat that. What this system is really good for is for me to play with my friend in Canada, South America, Australia and stuff like that, just to have a nice social experience, throw some dice, and that is it. Now, the other point I've just mentioned is that this is a big gateway for new armies. So what I've recently done is that I made a full-on Scion force on Tabletop Simulator, Baneblades, Lehman Russes, all the Scion units you can ever imagine. I had it, tested it all out, and I absolutely loved it. And from that, I actually went out and I actually purchased that army for the tabletop. So I've got Baneblades sitting next to me here, I've got Lehman Russes, I've got all the Scion forces, all now in proper tabletop models. And that is all down to Tabletop Simulator. So if I never experienced playing that force, enjoying that force, doing all the tactics and all that kind of stuff, I never would have gone out and purchased that army. And that army I did purchase, I think it was roughly about £350 worth of GW products. Now, I see this as a small problem which can very fastly snowball into a bigger problem, because is this just the start of GW looking for fan-made 40k or /GW content through the Steam Workshop, not just for this game, but for other games which support 40k content? For example, I'm a huge fan of the Armour 3 series, and there is a 40k mod which is currently in the works for the Armour 3 game. We don't have a 40k game which allows you to have these huge, massive battles. We've been promised those type of games in the past, but it never happened. So my only hope to experience that type of game, that type of battle, that type of warfare, which we read about all the time in 40k novels and stuff like that, is through this dedicated community of people making this player-made content. Now, what I'm fearful of is that GW are going to find content like this and issue a shutdown, because basically it's using their IP without their permission. This goes for other stuff. You've got the XCOM game, which has just recently had a mod for 40k, which looks incredible. I haven't personally had the time to try that yet. Even with stuff like the games which are already associated with 40k, so for example the Dawn of War 2 series, that has some massive awesome mods. You've got the Apocalypse mod for the normal Dawn of War series. Is that going to be issued with copyright strikes, since all those assets that are used in there are not really in the base game, and the community around that made that themselves? Is that the next stage we're going to see from GW going down and start issuing these copyright strikes for that? This now is what I'm very scared of GW doing. Now, over the past couple of years, the GW community community has been really fantastic. I personally think the interaction, the building on the social media platforms has been great. I've really not had a bad thing to say about them. There's been a couple of things with the Forge World stuff which I've made videos on and all that kind of stuff, but all in all, they've been absolutely great. What I fear from this, if they do, and this is the big thing, if they do start going after other 40k content of which has been made by the community, then I really do think that's going to leave a sour taste within the community, because at the end of the day, if there's no one else producing this kind of content, is bringing this kind of enjoyment to us, what is the problem with these guys going out, making a Lehman Russ battle tank and letting me ride around in armor, blowing stuff up and just shouting for the Emperor? I don't really see what harm that is doing. If anything, it's bringing more people into the community rather than forcing people, you know, out of the community or hurting GW in a bad way, because someone sees a Baneblade tank, a Lehman Russ tank as a downloadable mod, they download it, they go around, you've got all this DACA, they're blowing stuff up, and all of a sudden you've got a brand new 40k fan hooked into this IP that we all love. He'll probably go out, he'll probably start reading some books, he'll probably go out and maybe pick up some models, throw some dice and stuff. There we go, you've got a brand new GW fan for a life. Alright chaps, that is me done for another video. I know it's kind of a sucky subject to talk about, kind of leaving a sour taste in my mouth just speaking about it, or seeing all the information and stuff like that, like all the emails these chaps have been getting, shutting their content down. If you want to see those images, I have put them in the description of the video, because of course looking at on my video is probably not the best resolution to do it. I'll put some links in there so you can read it all and everything like that. GW, if you watch this, please don't do this. We all love this content. It's bringing more people into the games than rather hurting you as a business. So please just let it be, and we can all purge in the Emperor's glorious name. Thank you for watching this video, and I shall see you all very, very soon. See you now, and bye bye.